Welcome at the Xmas special of Planet Coaster. This time I want to show you some speed building with the overview of everything at the end. Keep in mind this is my first time doing some pre-recording and talking afterwards. I will change my voice with some music sometimes. I was going for a small and cozy park with Christmas theme, of course. The entrance I had in mind to make like some kind of an ice cave. In the end it looks of course bigger than I had in mind. I find it important at the beginning to have some warm food and drinks and of course a toilet, because the first thing you always have to do after a long ride towards the theme park is going to the toilets. I've used here some gingerbread style. I did not want to go all the way with candy and that kind of stuff on it. I just wanted to make a simple but good looking gingerbread building. I was messing around a little bit with the floor here. As you can see, the snow is kinda choppy. Later on I discovered that I just had to put the building up a touch so the snow could be more smoothed out, as you can see at the sides. In the beginning it was a little bit of messing around. As you can see, I removed the other windows because I find it all too white and I want to have a little bit more color onto it. You can see on the left side I took one of the standard blueprints of Planet Coaster to get a little bit of ideas. At the beginning I didn't have in mind to actually do the back of the building. Later on I also did the back of the building in case I wanted to put it up in the workshop and some people would like to use it. Then it's always handy to also fill up the back. It was a lot of fun to actually build this. Also it's sometimes difficult because then you will start the wrong way and you have to change it all over again. In the end I'm kinda happy with the result of this whole building. You can see sometimes I'm struggling, especially this part. I will need to change the angle. Further ahead I will place some more pads at the front. I want to have some new benches. They have been adding a lot of stuff. Meanwhile I haven't played this game for a little while. And of course I was also playing this game on single player mode, which in case when they add some new stuff it won't be added immediately to the single player because it's like team based. So they have like for example race kart edition, and of course I was busy with King Coaster Park, and King Coaster Park is all about the roller coasters and King, so that's why it's not been added there. I was keep struggling here with decorating because I wanted to especially only use these Christmas theme stuff. The roof is always fun because what are you going to do with the roof? And already looks like some kind of solar panels on the roof. A little bit more green is always nice, and as you can see over here I started wrong and then I realized I could better do it on a different way. Just like so. And it looks already a lot better. Sooner or later I will place down a train station for the start. Get an idea how big the area is going to be. There's some more signs on it. And like I said, at the back it's kinda plain, kinda boring, and if you put this in the workshop, it would be better if you also decorate the back of the building. Got some more green stuff onto the pipes. Even though I don't know what it's called at this moment. And I'm not going to stop the recording again. So here you can see I've made the front a bit bigger. Now I'm placing like a few walls so I can more precisely aim out these benches. And then remove it again and it's gone. Here you can see the train station at your left side. I wanted to make like an ice cave, but I did not only want to build up in the height, I also wanted to add some more depth into the ground. I was going for some kind of an old river. with not much water in it, but still a little bit of water most of the time. Of course, melt from the snow and ice. Here I'm adding the path from the entrance to the main hall, I would like to call it. A little bit more water here and there. Later on I also place some rocks into the water, give it a little bit more detail. Over here I was kinda struggling because the sunlight at the left side, I couldn't see the depth of the water. Here and there I'm changing the ground. I want to go for a more of a random look instead of making everything the same, and I'm kinda proud of myself that I have tried to do that, because normally my OCD always want stuff to be the same. Over here I'm making the cave, because from distance you know you cannot just make a hole in there and that's just where the water comes from. It needs a little bit of detailing. So I kinda make the hole, and then at some certain point I went around the corner, like here, and then that would be enough because you cannot see further ahead. Time for the train, lay it out. Going behind the building, I want to people, see everything what's going on in the ice cave itself. The railroad will be against the whole wall of the ice cave. Over here I first went that way, as you can see, when I decided to go the other way. And I'm not finishing the whole train track, it's just for the beginning, because I'm going to need an extra train station somewhere else in the park, so people have a reason to actually use the train. And over here I'm starting to go with the outside of the ice cave. It was actually the most work of what I've done in this whole part. And once again, I did not want to make it look like all the same. I wanted to make some columns, some pieces of cave, open places. And at the beginning I went too much in detail. That's probably also because there's not much space to move the terrain around. Later on I used a bigger brush. I can do more in once. And of course I mess around with the train from the entrance of the park to the main hall, because I think that's should be with it. As you can see here, more depth in the ground, more detailing. Looks kinda cool already. And later on I'm also going to do some nature, placing down trees, placing down rocks. We will build a train station, we'll build more waterways. And of course, meanwhile I've been placing around some benches, trash cans, some lights, Christmas trees. I did not went too much in the detailing of decoration itself. Of course there will be more parts coming online after this. And like I said, this is the first time I'm doing it on this way, and I just want to see how it goes and if people like it or not. Over here I'm starting to work with a bigger brush, and yeah, I find it also important that the cave is looking good, because the cave is never flat at the top. It's always a little bit of a half circle. Kinda important. I'm not too happy with everything that I've done, because doing nature is a hard thing to do, to make it look natural. Especially not the same everywhere. And like I said, in my mind it was actually like a small cozy cave, but you can already see it's kinda getting giant. But in overall I'm happy. A little bit here and a little bit over there. Later on at the right side of the path I'm making kinda a stairways look, which in case later on I've changed, because it didn't felt like it fitted in the environment, because everything is a little bit cliff hanging, and Now you will see in a second. I also find it important to do behind the mountain, even though you cannot see it, because later on when you place some trees, it needs to look natural. And over here is the part I meant with looking a little bit stairways. Later on I changed it into a collapsed piece of cliff, so it just looked like it collapsed and snow and all kinds of stuff has fallen down, and it felt a lot better. A little bit more detailing over here at the water. I also find it important to, give it a change at the river, not only look like the same. And once again, a lot of messing around with the terrain. And over here I made, at the corner, some kind of, I don't know what to call it, but I'm going to need to place some scenery in there. For now I haven't done that just yet. Decoration is something that I want to do at the end. Putting down gifts, stuff that could go into the Christmas tree, candy, everything what you can think of. And I am also someone who finds it important to think about the distance of stuff. Over here you can see the water, by the way, disappearing sometimes. That's because I'm getting too close to the path. Somehow the water disappears. In the beginning I was like, what the hell is happening here? Later on I understand it. It can be frustrating sometimes. And of course I'm someone who kind of looks from the eyes of the people who are actually walking the park. I find it important to have some nice views and some logic views. Fill up the terrain, fill up the outside. Here another cliff. I have a little bit of trouble with making these columns because even though it looks okay, it doesn't feel natural enough. But I'm learning. Over here we're going to build the train station. I had also a few struggles with doing that, because if you place one decoration thing onto the wall and you need to multiply it 20 times, then at some certain point you think like, okay, let's just place 2 walls, decorate the hell out of it, and then multiply it along the way. But sometimes it doesn't work like that. And I also noticed with this train station that I couldn't really put some red into it like the other building. So at the end I decided to make a small building near it, so I can add in more colorful details, so it would fit in with the building on the other side. I had a lot of fun doing this. I think I've been busy last night, I think 5 or 6 hours. Record this and record that. And I think the train station looks very well, even though I need to place a large sign saying that it's a train station or transportation or something like that. And sometimes when you make this kind of building, like I got a window, door, and this door is more to the right side while the other 2 are more to the left side. And then when I copy the whole stuff off, it looks kind of weird. But in the end I think it's kinda natural looking, since behind the door you got like a hallway and you got like a stairs, so it's like a separate room. And now I'm going to place the 3rd window, and it looks very close to the window near it. I don't know guys, that's just the way how things work sometimes. Think about this, think about that, try to, make it too realistic, and you're going to struggle. Should not be all too serious. And yeah, this is also a gingerbread house, and when people make gingerbread, it's not look like it's been made by a computer, but with human hands. Placing some more decorations. I discovered that I like the star a lot, and place these round things onto, what is that called? I have no idea. That thing onto the roof. How can I forget? And yeah, over here I found a little bit important when you come back at the train station, it have to look a little bit nice. And of course at the other side, when you leave the train station, you don't see, you're not gonna look backwards, so I found it less important to add some decoration on that side. A little bit green inside, give it a little more color and change. And now it's time to add in some trees. And then once again, when I'm doing these trees, I'm trying to kind of look from the eye of the people. So when you come in, trees have to stand perfect, still natural, but don't block off the important things like the train station or the coffee house, stuff like that. And yeah, here you can see where I just placed the tree. And that I've changed the stairway looking hill and made it into a collapsed piece. Will make sense in a second. Few more trees here and there, and also of course behind the house. Yeah, and this part down here I made it, you can see like it looks like collapsed, and it felt much more logic than having its stairways. Time for some rocks. Took a ton of time to place all these rocks around, and the difficult thing is when you have placed 100 different rocks, they'll start to look like the same. But in the end I think it worked out. The only thing that I did notice when I placed these rocks on the left side of the railroad, that it didn't felt like 100%, because as you can see, it's like a bright white rock near a grayish stone wall. I wanted to place these trees really on the look when people come into the park. And later on I changed my view, like what will people see when they exit the park. Place some trees from that view. Over here I found it somehow important to, make it look good on distance when you pass by that small piece. Over here I'm apparently going to the toilet or whatever. It's also difficult to find the silent spots in a 4 hours recording. And later on I also placed something nice in the water. You will see that at the overview in the end of this video. Give it a little touch. And of course I will also show you the nighttime as well as the daytime. More rocks here and there. I had some fun with placing these things. And of course I have not been placing rocks everywhere, because when you cannot see it, you don't have to place them, right? Why would you do that? It only costs you more, of your computer, of course. Don't place what you can't see. And it starts to fill up already, as you can see, a lot. But I'm not done. Needs to be some snowmans around, some other Christmas decorations. And this is the end result of what I've done last night. We are slowly going forwards. You can see like the gift boat at the left side. You will see gift boats at the right side. I will give a better attention to it when I switch to the nighttime. And here you come in, guys. Look at that. I'm super duper happy with this. And keep in mind, like I said, it's not finished. And yeah, I've also placed the train down there, and now I noticed that I haven't recorded that somehow. That's silly. But oh well. Like I said, this is my first time doing this, and I already find it very clever that I'm already talking for almost 20 minutes without stopping and redoing this recording. Here you got like gift boat. I will put these in the workshop. I made 3 different ones. There's another one over there, and 2 over there in the water. And at the right side of this corner, just here at the right side, I still want to play some stuff. And then when you come in here, it's warm, cozy, ice cold, and it really feels like a Christmas theme. I think it looks pretty good. I can't wait until everything is finished and we can go onto the train, have a ride to the park. Yeah, I also like the train at the left side where I've done. Here a nice overview from the train seat. The boarding station looks good, even though it's not much. I will upload another few parts these days with at the ending a nice firework display. Let me know with a comment what you think of the new way of doing this series. With that being said, I hope you all enjoy your holidays and thanks for watching. Bye bye.